After we left Good, climbing the pillar off the beach, I find myself now chilling on what appears to be a cardboard box in a dimly lit closet. I feel more in my own time period. I can hear hipster music in the background. I can hear the sound of urgent footsteps clattering towards the closet. With a whoosh, it appears the box is being grabbed by the most devilish looking redhead I've ever seen again. Redheads are usually trouble, I take it. This is evil. She grabs me with a whoosh, revealing half of the dust on the box. As she whips back, as I follow, continuing on top of the box, down a hallway, circling around, exposing the house, which doesn't appear to be much, but a bedroom that appears to be a guest bedroom, a bathroom I see, as she turns a corner, she reveals a massive front entry room, matched by a glass ceiling. I can see the light of day through it, only matched by the silhouette of wings that appears to be a bird sanctuary and a plant habitat above. I feel a real sense of detachment, isolation here, that everything is completely self-reliant and apparently impenetrable. As she turns around the corner, unbeknownst to evil, I see Good out the corner of her eye, jumping to the top of the deck, landing gracefully like a cat on the top banister as she turns the corner into the kitchen. And I say through the hallway as in illustrations would prove it better. The back corridor of the home is comprised of the guest bedroom and a bathroom. The back corridor of the house is hugging the mountain. That is the only portion of the home connected to the mountain. The rest of the home is supported by pillars protruding over the mountain, giving the full effect that if you jumped off the deck, you'd be clearing the beach by about 20 or 30 feet. Just to give you an idea. And exposing the living room exposes an 80s style hipster's living room with the circular couch, backdrop to the second floor, with the banister up above, kitchen below, minimal kitchen with a bar. This appears to be the third structure, the middle structure. As Good continues, she meets the user in the kitchen, who appears to be enjoying a cup of coffee, while she appears to be cleaning. She eccentrically gives the box a blow. Dust flies in the user's face with a sneeze. He says, "Go change all the filters now." As you see each granule of dust fly in separate directions, being sucked into a separate filter in every hallway, corridor, accentuating the fact that the user is quite a germaphobe, despite the fact that I take it he has all three objects. With a sneeze, he spills his coffee all over his suit. He stands up and says, "Dang." As he sloughs off the coffee, you see that as if his clothes are stain retardant. The fluid never even touched it on a molecular level, like hopped off of it. His suit appeared more clean after, as a result of the objects that he holds. He proceeds to give Evil several commands, issuing make sure we finish the dry mop. We need to set out the ice for the drinks. We need to make sure the bathrooms are set up. I know we have all this already going. Evil replies, "Dad, just you have to do what I say." Well, you'll be grateful I have to do what you say if good ever shows. So, okay, that's why I have this button around my neck. I'm ready. Yeah, you shit your pants if you're ready, alright. As she walks away. With a smirk on my face, well, that's definitely an evil duo. I see that good is still on the deck, quite proudly presenting herself, I might say, as she steps, walking around the perimeter of the deck, like a catwalk, grinding her sword on the deck, as if to announce herself. The sound of this can be echoily heard through the home. Although she cannot affect the deck, the window, the glass, the pillars, everything in the home, where it has been enchanted by evil, apparently, it still has quite an effect, with a screeching grind of sparks and screaming glass. She steps down off the deck and proceeds to do the same on the glass window as she proceeds her march to the front. We turn back to Good,
User.
who is not so much concerned about the dust as so much as the mess that he's just made underneath his stool. And I'm not talking about his coffee. Evil cracks her neck, circles, and takes several steps towards the window. Evil and Good, almost stepping in silhouette to the front glass double doors, locked and sealed. The user folds around his neck what appears to be an old man panic button. One large red button followed with two smaller buttons. One small music symbol and one small OK symbol. Like. He pushes the large red button. The feel of the home changes. The music dies. The lights dim to reveal a flashing red. Good and evil standoff at the door. Both holding a cylinder. Evil, standing there ready, in a beautiful red dress. Good, oppositely standing outside, with her sword ready, in her beautiful white dress. They begin. Expand their swords, and in a beautiful silhouette and dance, they stretch and begin. Stretching their sword to the left, putting their right leg forward, back, thrust jab up, jumping 10 feet, down, with a smash, twisting, turning, it's not as if they're not affected by gravity, but more as if they can glide. And they can decide to be affected by it or not. They can hit the ground with a thud, or they can gracefully land. They can run and thrust and become weightless and float. This continues for about 30 seconds as they gracefully prep themselves. And as they both give each other a nod, point their swords forward. Good again. The user kicks what appears to be a button on his stool, which opens up a 6-foot circular portion of the floorboard where he was sitting, which lowers him and the stool out of scene and close as the door clicks open. Smash of sparks, the two swords join. White sparks and black sparks shoot from Evil's sword and Good as they equally forcefully smash into each other. 6 inches, their faces apart. They say, "Hi, how's it going?" as they thrust each other apart. 3 feet back, equally so matched, they land like a cat on their heel, springing back. This time, 1 foot to the left, with their sword aimed for a central thrust to the center. Both passes are equally aborted as they fly past each other. They land, glide, and both glide. Evil glides a good 5 feet onto the edge of the deck, and Good glides almost to the other end of the house as they land and stop. This guy is like the Bill Gates of being paranoid. You have no idea what you're up for. As evil enters the home, good. They both turn and continue their march, now rotating around the room, mirroring each other's moves. They present their swords out again. Evil says, "So what have you been doing with yourself?" "Well, you made it a little hard this time. Usually you leave little breadcrumbs for me." "Well, we're in the 90s, babe. I can't exactly just, write an inscription on the back of some painting. They think it's the Illuminati or something, so..." Good laughs. "You're right, they do every time. I actually had to get a side job. It took about 10 grand to find you. Private investigators. We finally found your post. Or invite for guests. Seemed a little weird that you needed an even match in nationality for such a small group of random people. Well, that's what you get for a user. Wait till you see this one. I can't wait. Is it going to be as hard to get into as this one? Yeah. You ready?" Pacing around each other, slowly closing the gap until they are about 3 feet apart. And with the slash of swords, they begin a close, intimate sword battle, slashing back and forth. It's now very apparent that their even fighting skills are evenly matched. Their styles, their endless agility of an immortal being, such a powerful weapon. The sword capable of slashing through a steel pillar without even affecting, which is now apparent as evil barely nicks the window, which she had enchanted herself, now scratches the membrane of the glass. Not breaking it, but the sheer physicality of her blade is flame and hotness. It sears the glass, melting and moving the particles, as if someone put a hot knife through butter, literally. This proceeds for a couple minutes. As good breaks for the back room, looking for the user. Runs away from evil. Down the hallway, she sees the user standing at the end of a long hallway, pushing his button again in front of the bathroom at the end of the hallway. He continues to push the button frantically as Good runs towards him. At the last possible second, a secret door opens next to the user. He jumps in and slides the door shut as it locks. With evil quick on her toes, gives her a kick in her back as she flies into the bathroom. bathroom after good, closing the door behind her. As you hear, two swords, smash of sparks, the kicking of feet to walls, the sound of broken glass, mirror, tile breaking, sparks slashing, the sound of metal grinding. It sounds like a meat shop as a puddle of blood comes pouring out of the bathroom door, followed by a wet spark as the lights go dim. A moment later, Evil again opens the door. To my grotesque horror, the white bathroom is now red as the light illuminates the bathroom. She hobbles out, appearing to be holding her right leg in her arm, hobbling out of the bathroom, clearing the puddle of blood, and limping down the hallway, attaching her foot, and walking away, leaving a puddle of blood. Footsteps as they appear to evaporate again. Turning back to the bathroom, seeing good, and 4 pieces on the ground. Her left arm severed, her left foot, a portion of her foot, other foot, as she begins to put herself together. Pretty good shape considering she had an arm still connected to connect the other pieces. Still, pretty horrifying sight to see that her white dress is no longer white. She looks a lot like Evil as she puts herself together and stands up. Evil, on the other hand, the blood in her hair and all over her face has dried and cleaned and turned to ash and evaporated, and once more she is spotlessly clean and dry. As Good exits the bathroom, she can no longer see Evil. It appears that she is now alone in the house. Evil and the user appear to have escaped into the elevator, which now appears to be locked. As she turns around, she decides to take this opportunity to examine the rest of the house. She beelines straight for the kitchen. The user's coffee is both on the ground, with a large puddle of what I'm hoping is coffee on the ground. She gets in the dishwasher, grabs a cup, monogrammed, world's best air guitarist. She pours herself a cup of coffee, turns to the coffee table counter. Appears to be a PDA type tablet sitting on the counter, marked House Audio. She thumbs through the tracks, turns it up, stands, looks around, takes another drink of her coffee, admiring the home. With a swagger on her hip. Gorgeous home. Something you'd see from someone in the 80s. A retro, new age. Not much to the home itself, the building we're in. Just a bedroom and a bathroom. Upstairs and down. The upstairs more of just a front. So you can look in the front room and see that there is a second balcony. Appears to be. She walks upstairs to examine the second floor. The second room appears to be an audio room of some sort. Appears that this guy likes to party. DJ room up above, party down below. She stands at the balcony and admires the rest of the living room. A gorgeous, picturesque glass living room from floor to ceiling. Panoramic planes of glass everywhere she looks appear to be enchanted as well. From floor to ceiling, all the way to the ceiling, which exposes a glass top ceiling roof with the bird sanctuary up above visible. And many plants that she can see more clearly now. It appears that there is another elevator behind her, and the elevator would take her to the top floor of the home, but again, the elevator is locked out, so she grabs the stairs. The stairs take her to the roof, what would be the top of the home, which has been outfitted with a deck that completely wraps around. The master portion of the home. And the other portion to the right, coming down one floor, so 2 floors on one side, 2 floors on the top, so it's a staggered deck. You can walk around on the deck and almost look down onto the deck down below, as if it's a guard post. You can see everything else going on down below from up above. She jumps from the top banister down to the bottom deck with the thud. Again, entering the home. Realizing she spills her coffee. And dang. She walks over, rinses the cup, puts it upside down in the sink. That's just a note to show that she's been a good guest. Grabs a towel, wipes up the coffee she had spilled on the deck, and throws the towel under the user's mess. She walks towards the front deck. Outside now, she jumps onto the top banister, and in the breeze she can hear what appears to be animals, chimps, screeching in the background. And she observes, in the wind blowing in her hair, that the breeze is blowing that way. So with a click, she transforms into the ribbon and rides a breeze around the island to examine the sound. After a very short time, after reaching the other side of the island, we see what appears to be a jungle landscape. Quite different than what you had seen before. And something you might not have ever seen before, a jungle, an actual jungle habitat. With 150-foot trees, with a canopy, full jungle, a small strip running from the beach halfway up the side of the mountain at a steep grade with what appears to be a trail zigzagging back and forth up to the very top, which appears to have a large elevator door, which Good has just located as she trudged her way through the jungle that she fell into as the ribbon. Again, it's kind of hard to time your landing, smashing through the canopy trees, snapping back and forth between the ribbon to avoid major injury. As she gets to the door, she can hear the clamoring of monkeys now in the background. And to her confusion, she sees monkeys of different species. First in line, a large ape, followed by a small chimpanzee, followed by a very small orangutan. Very different apes. Different so much that their behavioral style would be even considered violent compared to a more docile chimp. Anyway, all of these monkeys, chimps preceding, appear to have been dyed red, followed by the very last monkey, which is green. A small orangutan, following another monkey of the same species, his body painted red. He does not appear to want to stay in line, or apparently confirm, follow the group, for whatever reason. The monkeys approach the door. With a beep, the door opens to expose another door in front of it. Steel shutting door in front of it. One monkey enters the door. It closes behind him, opening the door in front of him, letting him into the larger section of the elevator. The next monkeys go throughout the line like this, and it proceeds as they enter the elevator one by one, until the last monkey stands at the elevator. Nervous and alone now, he almost hesitates. Like he's been through this before. He knows that he shouldn't be doing this, but he does anyway. He walks up to the door. It beeps and the door opens. Before he can even take a step forward, the door swings shut, smashing him. Opening again, and opening a hole in the floor, as if to dispose of his body. The trapdoor shuts, the door closed, the light turns green once again, and you hear the elevator activate and lower as the next parade of monkeys proceeds. These monkeys now green. Evil sits back with a smirk on her face. She's seen some really interesting things in her time with the users and why this could possibly be going on. She sits and shrugs her head in amazement as she watches this parade continue. Again, the next parade of monkeys enter the door and exit, with one last monkey to enter, he the right color, as the last monkey stood at the door. As he waited for the door open, you hear the screech of an alpha, a larger ape. And to Good's left, you hear the stomping of reeds and brush as a large gray ape jumps from the bushes, stomping the small monkey, grabbing him and disappearing again back into the bushes. Good is now shocked and amazed. This guy was right next to her and she didn't even realize it. This huge, magnificent beast, like the assume these monkeys get fed when they enter the door, and they're proceeded down to the bottom to be run through this simulation over and over again, for whatever reason. But this ape didn't want to conform. Maybe this is the X factor. A cannibal. Good, crouches her shoulders and rubs her head. Oh my. As she hears again the sounds of reed breaking to her left. In horror and shock, she sees the ape standing next to her, 10 feet off. They stand off for a moment. Eyeing each other down. A look of rage is in his eyes. One large scar down his right eye, characteristic of a big alpha that's been in many battles. Good pulls out her cylinder and then decides no and puts it away as the ape charges at her. Everything around me goes black again. I awaken now to myself in a field, surrounded by many, 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 many hippies. Dirty, dirty hippies, and the sound of some boss tunes in the background. I appear to be in Woodstock, man. And now for the first time, I see text at the bottom of my field of vision, as if the subtext to bring in the next scene. 1960, Woodstock. Yeah, Woodstock. Okay, cool. It pans around to one particular circle of hippies sitting down, all Indian, passing around what appears to be a case, a jewelry box. Its contents rambling around. They throw it back and forth. And it appears that each time one holds the case, their stinky dreads become spotless and they throw it back and forth in a circle, it instantly becoming stinky again. In their amazement, they continue this around until one familiar face becomes present in the circle, and one very familiar redhead stands in the background, dressed in red. Our current user stands up, grabs the case, and says, "Alright, enough of this," and walks off. sure to subscribe to my channel so you can keep updated on any new videos I add. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Till next time.